This morning we are joined here by Tracy Bronstein. She is a sleep consultant. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, a lot of our viewership are young moms and people who've got young families.
Right.
One of the biggest challenges is getting the babies to sleep.
Right. If only they came with instruction manuals.
Well, you know, we were talking about the fact that these days people get so overwhelmed with all the books out there, and you've got a few tips.
That's right. Yeah. So there is so much information out there, and if you ask 10 people, what do I do to get my child to sleep, you get 10 different answers. And so, you know, there are some key elements that we can do to really establish a healthy foundation of sleep. So one thing first is their sleep environment. A child's room should be super dark as possible, blackout blinds. They just do sleep better when it's really dark. You also don't want it to be too warm. So ideal temperature is about 68 degrees. They do sleep better when the room is a little cooler, as do we, rather than, you know, when it's too warm. Also, you do want to avoid crib entertainment. Popular misconception, but you really do want to remove those mobiles and aquariums and flashing lights because they are counterproductive, right? The crib should be associated with one thing only, and that's sleep. So sleep environment is your number one thing.
Can I ask you, what is normal in terms of how much sleep, let's say a newborn to 6 months should be getting, and what time do you put them to bed?
Right. Well, that's a very loaded question, but you know, really,
Sorry,
no, that's okay. You know, there is a range, you know, and so it varies greatly from infancy up to 6 months, you know, and it could be anywhere from 13 to 16, 17 hours, you know, within that range. So it is just a guideline. How to know if your child is rested is really, you know, they should be waking up from any nap or bedtime babbling, happy. If they wake up crying, usually that's a sign that they're not, that they're not quite rested. So
yeah. I'm just wondering in terms of getting kids to sleep.
Right.
Let's say toddlers now. That's often you watch these reality TV shows. It's the biggest challenge for people.
Right. Yes. How to get them. So there's a lot of things. So one, you know, like I was talking about, you know, when we start sleep training, we really want to set them up for success. So these are the things we look at, like the sleep environment. You really need to have a consistent bedtime routine, which is really important. These routines, they serve as cues to the children that sleep is coming next. And babies, children, they thrive on consistency and structure. So they love to know the steps of, you know, before bedtime. So consistent sleeping routine is key. Schedule is so important. Children have internal biological rhythms. So there are times of the day they're meant to be asleep, times they're meant to be awake. We need to put them down in sync with these rhythms.
So if, you know, little Mary is crying because she wants to watch one more show.
Right.
She shouldn't be allowed to. She needs to stick to her schedule.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. You know, we actually say it's really not good to watch TV at least an hour before bedtime. There's more and more studies coming out now that the blue light from TV and electronic devices inhibits the release of melatonin, which is that hormone in us that's responsible to make us drowsy. So maybe Mary can have one book instead of the TV show, you know, but then the key to everything is consistency. Whatever it is that a parent is going to do, it's so important that they follow through, because consistency is the key to your success, but it's also the lack of consistency is the key to failure too when sleep training.
That is so helpful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Tracy Bronstein is a sleep consultant, and you can get more information about parenting in general from a website that she's part of, theparentingtoolbox.ca. You can visit that for more information. Thank you again, Tracy.
Thank you.